Look, Australia's Treasurer Jim Chalmers is set to visit the US for talks, including talks about tariffs. He's going to continue to push for steel and aluminium tariff exemptions. Our Treasurer Jim Chalmers says that he'll be holding one-on-one conversations with his Treasury counterpart. What do you suspect is going to come out of this? What's the plan with Donald Trump and tariffs? Do you think Australia is safe?
If I was an Australian, I would be feeling pretty optimistic right now. Australia were actually exempted from tariffs in the first Trump presidency, and I suspect we're going to see something similar here. The key reason being is that actually the US runs a surplus with Australia, something like $15 billion. So where Trump likes to criticize Canada, Mexico, and European partners for not putting their weight in, well, this is the issue, that because they run a deficit with them. But because Australia actually runs a surplus, I think that's a real plus point. I'd also add that Australia, unlike Europe and NAFTA, it serves a really important partner in the Indo-Pacific, and it's a key bulwark against China. So when you have all these factors together, and let's not forget the AUKUS deal, where they have just signed a $500 million nuclear submarine deal, I think a lot of these factors are pointing in a very positive direction for Australians.
And it appears that Apple is making decisions to avoid tariffs. Donald Trump said that Apple CEO Tim Cook promised him that the tech giant's manufacturing would shift from Mexico to the United States. And today, Apple has announced that it plans to invest more than $500 billion in the US over the next 4 years, including plans to hire 20,000 people and build a new server factory in Texas. Is this the Trump effect, with more investment coming into the States?
Well, they might not say so, but it certainly is. I mean, it's no coincidence this has happened 5 weeks after Donald Trump has entered office and just a few weeks after tariffs have come into effect. Apple obviously has a lot of operations in Asia, most notably China, which is a key adversary of the United States. And, something very similar happened in Trump's first term, where they promised a $250 million investment, sorry, $250 million investment in America and American production. And it's also no mistake that these kind of operations are building up in red states like Texas and Arizona, very popular with Trump's constituencies. So I think it's very hard to dismiss the fact that, yes, after these tariff announcements came more domestic production from Apple. Now, it's not completely perfect because they are also expanding in other parts of Asia, like Vietnam and India. But the fact that it's looking to decouple from China, I think, is a great sign for American national security interests.
Finally, James, I want to get your thought on what Vice President JD Vance has had to say. He delivered a pretty powerful message for young men at CPAC. Let's take a listen.
My message to young men is, don't allow this broken culture to send you a message that you're a bad person because you're a man, because you like to tell a joke, because you like to have a beer with your friends, or because you're competitive. It's our cultural message is, I think that it wants to turn everybody, whether male or female, into androgynous idiots who think the same, talk the same, and act the same. We actually think God made male and female for a purpose, and we want you guys to thrive as young men and as young women, and we're going to help with our public policy to make it possible to do that.
Look, I suspect that this message really resonates, especially after years of the Me Too movement, plenty of years of the left shaming men. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I think without doubt the pendulum has swung too far the other way since 2015. And in the Western world, not just America, we have hit this crisis point in what masculinity truly means. And Democrats tried to propose their own version of masculinity through Vice President Tim Walz, and that was cast out pretty quickly. I think what JD Vance is doing is actually tapping into a real malaise across America and what's going on. I mean, just to run through some stats, labor participation, college enrollment, high school enrollment, they're all just going in a downturn for men compared to women. So this is like a really important point he has to make, and I really hope the Republican administration can do something about it.
James Billot, editor at UnHerd. So good to speak with you. Thank you so much for joining us on Power Hour.
Thank you.